拍手していきましょう。さあ行こう。さあ行こう。私たちはそれが大好きです。わかった。私たちはそれが大好きです。私たちはあなたを愛しています。フィル。調子はどうですか？私は気にしない。こんばんは。どこにいても、こんにちは、そしておはようございます。私は文化界にいる日本の兄弟姉妹に向けてこのメッセージを特別に作りました。私の名前はヒロです。コーディング with Strangers です。このメッセージを皆さんに直接送りたいと思います。私には今、日本文化がどのように私を受け入れ、招待してくれているかを見る以外に選択肢はありませんでした。そして、私は非常に風刺的で、より西洋の聴衆に冗談を言うのが好きですが、もしあなたがこれを聞いて理解しているなら、これは日本語ですが、下の字幕は私が実際に言っていることと一致しないことを知っておいてください。私は視聴者を混乱させるのがとても好きなので、でも、心と頭の中に本当に日本語を持っている人たちには、次のことを理解してほしいのです。1、私はあなたの不安に感謝しており、あなたの嫌いなことや嫌いなことについて真剣に話し合うために来てくれたあなたたちに感謝しています。アサシンクリードシャドウについて。誰もが何かが気に入らないという意見を持つ権利があると思います。人々が私をめちゃくちゃにするのは主に、何かが好きでなくても私がそれを楽しむのを妨げるものではないという思い込みをしている時だと思います。右、このビデオのポイントは、基本的に日本の視聴者であるあなたたちに感謝の意を表すことから始めることです。あなたたちがトップ10に忍び寄ったからです。見てください。皆さん拍手してください。皆さん見てください。それは愛だ。それは愛だ。それはありがたいです。翻訳の問題があるため、これが真実味や明確さがない場合はお詫びしたいと思いますが、日本語を話す聴衆がこれを実際に理解して読むことができるように最善を尽くしました。まず最初に説明したいのは、ビデオゲームを作るのは難しいということです。私は三目並べのような簡単な小さなビデオゲームを作ってきた人間として、単純にボード上の9つのスペースを理解し、三目並べで誰かが勝った時と負けた時を知る方法をコンピューターに教えることは非常に困難でした。ビデオゲームは難しいものです。そう、Ubisoftは研究を行い、ゲームが境界線を曖昧にすることなく可能な限り現実のものに忠実であることを確認するという使命を負った数百万ドルの会社です。しかし、Ubisoftは、ビジュアルの優れさを超えて現実的なゲームを作っているという立場を決して取っていないことを理解する必要があります。例えば、彼らはウォッチドッグスというゲームを作りました。シカゴに拠点を置いていました。私はシカゴ出身です。そして、そのゲームをプレイすると、故郷を思い出すため、他のどのゲームよりもゲームに没頭できます。彼らは、レイクショアドライブを車で下り、左側を見ると噴水と豆が見えるときに、ゲーム内でいくつかの構造アイテムがパーツを組み立てるのに役立つことを期待しています。それはノスタルジーを引き継いでいます。それは没入です。それはトリックです。それが本来あるべき姿であり、私もそれを理解しています。私はそれを尊重します。私はそれが好きです。したがって、皆さんがこのビデオゲームで真に描写し、すべての人に必要なものを少しでも提供しようとしている美しさを見逃すほどこだわりにならないことを願っています。ビデオゲーム用のアセットの構築は、これまでで最も退屈なプロセスの一つですが、努力が足りないわけではありません。私は数百万ドル規模の企業を擁護するためにここにいるわけではありません。私は彼らの給与計算に乗っていないので、あまり気にしませんが、現実の生活をデジタルの世界にしようとする任務を負った人々に対して、私たちは少し公平で、少し寛大であるべきだと思います。私たちが現実の世界で見ているものと比較できるものは何もありません。そのような基準がメディアに起因するものではないし、決してそうすべきではないことを私たちは覚えておくべきだと思います。すべてが1対1になるわけではありません。私たちの目標は、得たものを最大限に活用して最高の状態になることですが、だからといって、彼らが自由を奪うことはできないというわけではありません。退屈するようなゲームをプレイしたい人はいないでしょう。ですから、ゲームが現実的であるよりも楽しいものであることを確認するために芸術的なフレアを取り入れることは、私にとっては問題ありません。それと、わかりました。現実の生活のシミュレーターである必要はありません。つまり、農業シミュレーターをプレイして、ゲーム内で作ったトウモロコシが現実に手に入ることを期待している人はいないでしょう。あくまでゲームなので楽しんでください。そして最後にこれでお別れします。私がここで提供するコンテンツを高く評価し、コメント欄に本当に不満がある場合は、そこに書き込んでください。このプラットフォームは、人々が必ずしも同意する必要はない話し合いに参加するために設計されていることを知っておいてください。しかし、理解してください。私はあなたをからかい、 おそらく私が過去に私のコメントセクションで多くの人をやったようにあなたを荒らすでしょう。ビデオゲームを楽しむという私の考えを変えることを期待してここに来たのであれば、それを好きになる必要はありませんし、購入する必要もありません。しかし、あなたがしてはいけないこと、そして私があなたに行うことを許可しないのは、私のコミュニティやコメントセクションではなく、それを気に入って購入する人々に影響を与えることです。したがって、参加することに決めた場合は、慎重に行動するようにしてください。皆さんがここに来てくれて本当に感謝しています。正直なところ、これほど高い水準と文化を持った人々と話すのはとても楽しいです。つまり、皆さんを愛しています。気をつけてください。わかった？ショーをお楽しみください。
We in here. We in here. Look. Melanie Mac Goes Boom has made like 4 videos about this, getting thousands of views and shit like that. And she's grifting people for being angry. And my whole thing is, why can't I grift you guys for being angry? I'm going to tell you guys this right now at the beginning of this video. If you are coming here to be angry, stop. It's 4th of July when this video comes out. Go outside. Go blow some of your fingers off of your hands so you can come to the ER and we can hopefully attach 2 or 3 of them back. Like, go live your life. Go touch grass. Like, stop being angry about stuff on the internet, okay? Because all you're doing is fueling me. And when you fuel me, it gets me paid. It gets me paid, y'all. But who am I to stop you? I think this is a parasocial relationship I can really get down with. I love you guys, okay? I love you guys. But I'm not going to rehash the Assassin's Creed Shadow discography at this point. Everyone has an opinion. Everyone's entitled to that opinion. My only gripe is with people who want to take things away from people who just want to enjoy it. Here in America, we have the right to bear arms. And those people who can bear arms should be allowed to. But do I understand people's gripes who say there are people who shouldn't probably have access to guns? Yeah, I totally get that. But is it my job to fight that battle? No. That's why I vote. And you should too. But we're not a political channel. Let's get back to the things that really matter. Like black people in video games, okay? Let's talk about it. Because regardless of how you feel about Assassin's Creed Shadow, some people aren't gonna let you just enjoy it. So why don't we figure out what people are mad about today? A man named Grant Taylor Hill, July 2nd, 2024, came out with an article saying Japanese petition to cancel AC Shadow gets 30,000 signatures. I think it's higher now. Let's check real quick. It's at 45,910. New goal, 50,000. 50,000. You think they're gonna get to it? Shit. You see, it says take the next steps. I've signed this. Just to let you know how pointless this is. I've signed this. No one cares. But let's get into it, right? You guys hey, stop crying. You guys are important too, okay? Papa's gonna feed you. In Japan, a change.org. Wait, this is based in Japan? This is based in Japan? How did I get access to it? What? It's based in Japan? How did an American like me get to sign it? Oh no. Oh no. First line of the article is in the first line. Media literacy is so important. Don't be so easily distracted by people waving at you while they're flicking you off at the same time, okay? Come on, guys. We're better than this. This is the 9th video I've made about this. Oh, man. A change.org petition has surfaced to ban Assassin's Creed Shadows. It has now been a fair few weeks since Ubisoft lifted the lid on this year's Assassin's Creed title, announcing a dual protagonist adventure set in Feudal Japan, a setting that fans have been desperate to experience for many years. Yeah, Assassin's Creed, I think it was called Red, was the first was first mentioned back in like 2017, 2019. Everybody was, oh, Assassin's Creed would make so much sense in Japan. And when they saw how many people really liked that idea, of course they put it in their back pocket, developed, and now that has been 24 games later, 23 games later, they pulled this out. Someone who has never played Assassin's Creed, I'm buying this game because it looks so cool. However, Japanese fans of the franchise were quick to voice their disappointment and concern about the game, with the most extreme claims suggesting Ubisoft is floating racism. Boo-hoo.
Beta!
Who wrote this? Grant? Grant speaks for all Japanese people. Well done, Grant. Floating racism and severe historical inaccuracies in Shadows, which is set to be released in November. Take down Shadows. In Assassin's Creed Shadow, users can assume control of Naui, a shinobi, or Yasuke, a samurai. Funny. People identify him as a samurai. I don't know why people keep saying he's not a samurai. This news article guy just called him a samurai. And the series' first protagonist to be based on the real historical figure. So many people keep saying Assassin's Creed is going against their lore. Assassin's Creed is going against what they've normally done. Assassin's Creed owns the story. Assassin's Creed could do whatever the fuck they want. Like, why are people so obsessed with lore accurate video games? There are people out here writing fan fictions about Ezio banging his brother, and you guys are worried about lore in a video game? Where was the argument for lore accurate shit when Michael Fassbender was making that god awful live action Assassin's Creed movie? None of y'all was talking about lore on that shit. Medusa's in a game called Odyssey. There's a Cyclops in Origins or some shit like that. A wolf that brought about Ragnarok in Valhalla. You can fight a Kraken in Black Flag or some shit like that. What are we talking about here? One of the main concerns is that Yasuke is being portrayed as a full-blown respected samurai warrior in Assassin's Creed Shadow, and that is where the historical inaccuracies reportedly begin. Clap it up. He's a samurai! Yes. Be mad. Cry about it. He's a samurai. Because calling him a Bushin, retainer, any title you want, like a Western audience would be able to digest that. You guys think you're smart enough to know the difference? You think that highly of yourself? Americans can't even get their own history in order. You're over here trying to interpret Eastern culture? Dumbasses. The recent change.org petition that has surfaced in Japan didn't surface in Japan. This is literally, why do I keep saying surface in Japan? It's change.org. I have access to this. I don't know. Is it region locked? I've never used it. Could you imagine? The first time I ever used change.org was to make fun of nerds on the internet. We're doomed. Recently, the lack of historical accuracy and cultural respect has been a serious issue regarding the upcoming game Assassin's Creed Shadow. I hear a person crying when I read this. By game developer Ubisoft. The game is based on Japanese samurai and ignores the fact that samurai were higher class of warrior class and should have been gokin. Big word. Or servants of nobles. In fact, the first European to receive the title samurai, William Adams, served Tokugawa as a 250 koku hatumo in this history. Ubisoft continues to misunderstand the nature and role of samurai. This is a serious insult to Japanese culture and history, and may also be linked to Asian racism. Asian racism. You know what the perfect minority is? Like the picture perfect minority clause. It's this thing in America where when people see minorities, they have in their mind that there's two types of minorities. There's a group of minorities who are good and a group of minorities that are bad. And even though black people are minorities, the second largest minority in America, we've been here against our will probably the longest. We don't get the grace of having the perfect picture minority. So Asian people tend to get this a lot. They are considered to be white adjacent in most Western cultures, and even before this was after they were put in internment camps in America. They were given reparations for that before Black Americans, and they were also given the ability to mark on their driver's license or things like that they were white, which gave them a leg up in admissions. They were allowed to take out loans at a higher rate than black people. They were allowed to buy houses in areas where black people couldn't. They were able to usurp segregation, stereotypes, and a wealth of Jim Crow that black people had to endure. So Asian people experiencing racism, while it is possible, a lot of that racism isn't coming from a video game. A lot of that internalized racism might be coming from the very people you're relying on to give us accuracy, right? The Western culture is racist by design. Remember, the same people complaining about Assassin's Creed Shadow's accuracy, or the same people who are mad about Assassin's Creed Shadow having a black protagonist and are white people, are the same people who went to go see Oppenheimer and make it the second best movie last summer. You know, Oppenheimer, the movie about bombing Japan, Nagasaki, Hiroshima. The levels of confusion and disassociation is mind-boggling. There is an Ubisoft studio in Japan that they are using for reference. The levels of copium here is really strange. But to see that word racism of a video, like to cry racism because of a video game? Yeesh. There are video games where people that look like me are in chains being whipped by white men, and I'm told to accept it. I can't cry racism. They'll literally say, this is historically accurate. That's crazy. We call on Ubisoft to immediately cancel the release of Assassin's Creed Shadow and show a sincere research and respect for Japanese history and culture. We need your signatures. Sign this petition to let Ubisoft know the importance of cultural respect and historical accuracies. The Assassin's Creed Shadow trailer, especially the one aired in Japan, this person, he keeps saying stuff like aired in Japan as if it wasn't put on the internet for everybody. Picked up a pretty awful like to dislike ratio. The players in other regions had some issues with the game's flow and overall appearance, with some ruining the fact that it moved back to the massive open world RPG model that was first introduced in 2017, that subsequently pushed many longtime fans out of the franchise, and it is one of the reasons why AC Mirage did so well in 2023. It was a small form return to the glory for the franchise. All right, so they made an inference that, you know, the last time this game was good was when it was Mirage. Well, here we have Japanese sales charts. Assassin's Creed Origin climbs into top 5. Unsurprisingly, Nintendo dominated the latest Japanese chart with Super Mario Odyssey, moving millions of copies, but Assassin's Creed Origin the open world release made it to the top 5 in the land of the rising sun, shifting almost 50,000 copies. So that was in the first week of the game coming out, and it made it to the top 5, respectable in Japan. Not bad at all. 50,000 copies. First week. Now, let's look at the change.org. Where they're struggling to get 50,000 people to agree that this game doesn't need to exist. It was starting back in June 19th. So they've had a little more than 3 weeks. And they can't even get a measly 50,000. If this was a gaming company, a business, a lot of you guys aren't business people because of this. If you knew you could sell 50,000 copies of a game in 1 week, but had to endure a bunch of mouth breathers complaining about stuff on the internet for a couple of months, would you do it? Of course. Of course you would do it. It's not a tough decision. Assassin's Creed is a video game franchise. Like, someone made an argument the other day saying, oh, these numbers aren't real. These numbers aren't real. Rocksteady said Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League, said it was going to be a great game, and it did horribly. Yeah, Suicide Killed the Justice League is the first of its type in IP. Assassin's Creed has over 23 games. These two aren't equal on any footing. One of them has a cult following with lore-heavy individuals all happy and excited to see the next step in the grand story. Everybody who played Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League wanted another Arkham game. We still want another Arkham game. But this is not a small franchise. So people who make that argument are either disingenuous, or their 2 brain cells they have left are at odds with each other, fighting for the last oxygen molecule in your head. But there's something important we should understand. We should understand that there's a lot of people, as you scroll, this is a lot of people. 45,000 people is a lot. But a lot of these people aren't Japanese people. And a lot of these people are posing as Japanese people. Right? A lot of these people are posing as Japanese people. What do I mean? What do I mean? Is this your king? Top supporter and voices. These are the top supporters. Oh boy. Yeah, you can tell with that cardboard cutout, he's a real reputable one. And the Texas Blueberry Festival guy over here, he definitely strikes me as a person of extreme passion. Assassin's Creed Shadow to be canceled. So this was back when it was only at 25,000. But I think it was fascinating. Let me introduce you to the petition for Assassin's Creed Shadow's top voices. They definitely care about Japanese people. So those were the 2 people there. But I didn't believe that was true. I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it. So I went and found my own. Here's Paul Riley from the United Kingdom. I don't know which one's Paul, but they definitely strike me as 2 people who really care about video games. Here goes this lovely individual, right? Ronaldo Wagner, Hispanic fellow, excellent. Ronaldo, he signed it. He's really big on getting Henry Cavill back as Superman, because Snyderverse movies were the greatest. So you can tell he is a man who is okay with seeing one version of something and okay with letting go and letting people make different versions of it. You could tell this dude, Sunshine James, you are my sunshine, my only sunshine. This person signed the petition. Let me make sure I get this. Yeah, here's his from Bolivia. Real passionate about Assassin's Creed. The Sunshine, James. You know, here's another one, Gary. Another one from Bolivia. People in Bolivia, 2 people. Really, really about it. Julian Andre Herrera Hernandez, Colombia. I've been to Medellin. You know, they're real passionate. Georgie from Houston, Texas. Super passionate about it, you know. So, you know, there's a bunch of Japanese people apparently upset about this. You know, F the woke, long live Japan. You know, it's very important that we understand people are upset about this, guys, okay? So let's not sit here and pretend that this isn't a big issue. So that settles it. They should absolutely cancel Assassin's Creed Shadow because 45,000 people on the internet don't like it, and completely ignore the fact that they're going to make millions of dollars off of the game initial sales, a bunch of DLC, a bunch of, you know, extra prize orders, and they're going to have the ability of, you know, capitalizing on the tears of so many people. But if you're someone like me, you gotta understand that, you know, it's just a video game. Hopefully, like, I know I'm making fun of a lot of people here, and I'm being very condescending, but this is also, I think, the 9th video I've made about this. It kind of bothers me that I have to keep talking about this, but the algorithm's gonna algorithm. So, you know, go down there, write your mean comments. I'll be down there to make fun of you. This is a Wendy's. LOL, are you sure? Can you explain it? Just expect some of my great bangers to come down, but, you know, like, share, and subscribe. I really do appreciate you guys, honestly.
Get down!
Tell me what you think about this. Do you think they should cancel Assassin's Creed Shadow? That's a serious question. My Patreon's down there. I want to buy a PlayStation 5. Can somebody pitch in? I could use some help. Appreciate it.